Zelensky is facing one of the biggest political backlashes of the war after removing his defense minister. Public anger is growing in Kyiv as demonstrators continue to challenge the president's controversial decision. For a second straight day, protesters have returned to the streets, demanding accountability from Ukraine's leadership. The political turmoil is unfolding as Russia continues to closely monitor instability inside Ukraine. Questions are once again being raised over why Zelensky continues reshuffling Ukraine's top defense leadership. Thousands of people gathered in Kyiv on July 17 for a second consecutive day of protests, following the dismissal of Defense Minister Mykhailo Fedorov. The demonstrations continued even after Zelensky said he had heard and understood public concerns. Protesters insist the president has ignored calls to reverse his decision and bring Fedorov back. What began as criticism over one dismissal has now developed into one of Ukraine's biggest wartime political crises.
We gathered because there have been a lot of questions for Zelensky, for our president's decisions, which the people absolutely disagree with and are dissatisfied with. And we want to resolve this issue. We demand the return of Fedorov to his post as Minister of Defense of Ukraine. We demand the dismissal of SYR-SKY, and we demand the Soviet remnants be sent to the trash heap where they belong. So far, I only know what Fedorov said. There was a conflict with SYR-SKY, and he came to Zelensky and said, "Either Fedorov or me." Therefore, they decided to dismiss Fedorov. I came here to protest against Zelensky's decision to dismiss Fedorov from the position of Minister of Defense. I believe this is a colossal mistake and demand that he be returned to his post.
Fedorov had built a reputation as one of Ukraine's most popular and reform-oriented government officials. He oversaw major defense initiatives, including long-range strike coordination and military modernization. Supporters credit him with accelerating reforms and strengthening Ukraine's battlefield capabilities. His sudden removal has shocked lawmakers, military figures, and many ordinary Ukrainians. Many Ukrainians believe Zelensky ultimately chose to back Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky instead of Fedorov. Reports suggest relations between the two leaders had deteriorated over competing visions for the future of Ukraine's armed forces. Following the dismissal, Zelensky appointed security service official Yevhen Kmara as acting defense minister. Kmara previously led elite special operations involved in long-range strikes against Russian military targets. Unlike Fedorov, however, the new acting minister has largely remained out of the public spotlight. President Volodymyr Zelensky has dismissed Ukraine's defense minister as part of a wider government reshuffle. Mykhailo Fedorov confirmed he is stepping down after serving just 6 months as Ukraine's defense minister. Fedorov described his tenure as a great honor while announcing his departure. At just 35, Fedorov became the youngest person ever appointed to lead Ukraine's defense ministry. He acknowledged that he had not succeeded in reforming the ministry according to NATO standards. President Zelensky has not publicly explained the reason behind the decision. Lawmakers claim relations between Fedorov and Ukraine's military leadership had seriously deteriorated. According to lawmakers, Zelensky had grown dissatisfied with the pace of defense reforms. Before taking over the defense ministry, Fedorov led Ukraine's digital transformation and helped develop its drone warfare capabilities. He also expanded cooperation with U.S. military technology company Palantir. The partnership focused on artificial intelligence, battlefield data analysis, and long-range strike planning. Officials say Palantir's systems helped improve battlefield targeting during crucial times. The ministry said the cooperation was intended to strengthen Ukraine's ability to strike deeper inside Russian territory. The latest dismissal continues a pattern of frequent leadership changes under Zelensky. Several previous defense ministers also left office amid procurement and contract controversies. His predecessor was also reassigned within months as part of an earlier cabinet reshuffle. Reports suggest Interior Minister Igor Klemenko is now among the leading candidates to take over the defense ministry. The shakeup follows the recent departure of Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko and several members of her cabinet. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to replace Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko after just 1 year in office. The announcement has triggered the resignation of Ukraine's entire government, according to a Reuters report on the political shakeup. Zelensky said the cabinet reshuffle was necessary to implement an updated political strategy and strengthen Ukraine's wartime governance. Volodymyr Zelensky said, and I quote, "I am grateful to Yulia for her clear, steady, and effective work as Prime Minister, for her years of productive service on Ukraine's team. And I have offered her the opportunity to lead a new and important area of relations with a key partner. I expect that, together with MPs, we will make the corresponding changes in the government of Ukraine." Unquote. Svirodenko became Prime Minister in July 2025 after spending several years leading Ukraine's economic development and reconstruction agenda. The government overhaul comes as Kyiv continues to face intense domestic and international scrutiny over several high-profile corruption investigations. Reuters said the so-called Midas case has emerged as Ukraine's biggest corruption scandal in recent years involving state-owned enterprises. The investigation focuses on alleged kickbacks worth around $100 million linked to contracts at Ukraine's state nuclear company, Energoatom. In a serious setback for Ukraine, it now appears unlikely that the country will be able to fully capitalize on Donald Trump's recent promise to help it build Patriot missiles. Ukraine will, in all likelihood, not be able to produce its own Patriot missiles despite Washington's formal approval. These developments were revealed by informed sources who spoke to international media on July 10th. Officials and experts say it simply isn't safe for Ukraine to host Patriot missile production lines while the war with Russia is still underway. Instead, the new interceptors are most likely to be manufactured in Germany or another European country.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.